Hey, this is Brian Hegney, instructor of Game and Interactive Media Design and instructor of your COM 1113 class. Fourth video for week 12. We are going to finish our swatch panel, our swatch creation of colors. So let's get to it. Once I get to it, of course, there we go. And yeah, come down here and go back to InDesign. There, we made our first swatch. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just to see it. Oh yeah, it's so beautiful. Okay, now we're going to make another square for the grid, but I'm gonna keep this square. If you hold down your Alt button, notice your cursor turns into a double cursor. I'm going to left click and drag it and move it over and snap it next to itself. And let go of my mouse button, let go of my Alt button. I'm going to do that a second time. Alt, drag, drop, let go. Okay. Now, one thing I want to point out with Adobe, it's really weird. This has been happening for 20 years for me. Notice I don't know if you can see this on your screen, but there will be times when you can see these light lines between your elements, even though you think you've snapped them next to each other. Well, that's an Adobe screen issue. If I actually zoom in there, you see this one on the left disappears. If I zoom in here, this one now disappears. It's just a little glitch for the way... See, I can keep zooming out and different ones disappear. This used to bug our clients. Our clients used to think that we were somehow making mistakes and having these white lines appear in our documents. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just a way the pixels are put onto the screen at this point. So just deal with that. Now, if there is a space, because you have it like that, yes, definitely you need to fix that. I don't want to see that space. Let's smash that together. Okay. All right. One thing we need to fix about this is I hate the name of this color. Because guess what? C equals 35, M equals 55, Y equals 100, K equals 0 is not a fun name to talk about. So I'm going to double click this swatch that we just made, and I'm going to uncheck name with color value, and I'm going to call this Brassy. How about this? Feeling brassy. I like to have little punny names because it helps me pass the time and not go crazy. There we go. Feeling brassy. Now I'm going to make a tint. Okay, so I'm going to select this in my swatches panel, the Feeling Brassy. And I'm going to click the hamburger button, and instead of doing a new color swatch, I'm going to do a new tint swatch. Again, tint is when we add white to a color, to a hue. I'm going to click New Tint. And notice it shows you the CMYK values. And I can't change any of this stuff. But what I can change is this slider down here that says Tint. And you can see if I slide it to 0, that means 0% of this color is the brass color and 100% is white. Well, I'm not going to do that, obviously. I'm probably going to set this to 75 and say OK. And that gives me a slightly more tinted color. I'm going to drag this into my second square. Ooh, that's pretty. I love it. Oh my god, this makes me feel so good. Let's go ahead and do a third color by choosing a second tint. Now, to do your second tint, it doesn't matter which of these you choose. I could choose Feeling Brassy 75%, or I could choose Feeling Brassy. What is this? Yeah. So I'm going to choose either one of them and do a new tint swatch. It doesn't matter. And now I'm going to drag this to probably something like 50. And now it's 50% white, 50% Feeling Brassy. And again, going to drag this and drop it onto that third square. Oh my gosh, it looks so wonderful. I hope you love this as much as I love this. All right, not done yet. We're going to select our 3 squares here. Hold down the Alt button to duplicate these. Left-click, drag, smash it right into the bottom. Let go. Do it again. Hold down Alt, left-click and drag, smash it into itself so it snaps. Yeah. Look again, there's that horrible little line. If I hold down Command plus, you can see they will start to disappear eventually. So that is a glitch. That is the glitch line, not a line that I need to worry about. Remember that image that I went with the with the brass portion of the orchestra, I'm going to create a new swatch. Now watch what happens. If I select this box here and I go to hamburger button, new color swatch, and I find the beautiful red. You know what? I'm gonna now copy this image. And where is that? Oh, did I lose it? I lost it. Here it is. I'm gonna copy this image, go into Photoshop, Command V. Oops, cancel that. Command V. Zoom out. Look for that beautiful red. Yeah. Oh my God, that's pretty. Here we go. CMYK is 794/100. I'm going to go with 1095/100 because, again, it's easy to memorize. 1095/100, and of course, I'm going to set my key color. Maybe I'll make it darker. Maybe I'll make it lighter. I'm not sure. I'll start it with no black. Say OK. Now, notice when I created this new one, it updated whichever object I had selected. Guess what? I do that all the time when I don't want to. So you might as well. If you do, just hit Command Z, or yeah, Command Z or Control Z. But I actually wanted to do that. Oh no, I just lost my swatch, so I need to go actually redo, edit, redo. There we go. And of course, I didn't name this anything fun, so I'm going to call this What a Maroon, from the old Bugs Bunny cartoons when they used to say, what a maroon. What a maroon there. And now I'm going to select my middle one, and I'm going to say new tint swatch, add some tint to it. Oops, look what I did. I added the wrong tint. Okay. Why did I do that? Because when I selected this middle square, it went and selected the Feelin' Brassy 75% swatch. I wanted to select the What a Maroon swatch and set this new tint to a new tint swatch, add 75%, say OK. Now I'm going to select nothing, select the What a Maroon, there we go, and new tint swatch, and set this to like 56. Drag this here. There we go. Maybe I needed to set this to, well, I'll just keep it the way it is. I'm going to pause it while I make the next set because you don't need to watch me agonizing over these colors. Okay, and so here is my finished complete swatch pattern. Now, here's the question that you're asking yourself. Where did the screen go? Well, that's a good question, and I accidentally zoomed way into something dumb. Okay, I just wanted to move this out. Why are we using swatches? Why did we go through all this trouble to set up these swatches? Here's the thing. If I'm looking at my color scheme and I think to myself, you know what? That brass isn't brassy enough, that floorboard isn't floorboardy enough, and that maroon is not dark enough. So the cool thing that I can do is go to my swatch panel, and you see all of these swatches here. What I can do is say, you know what, first I'm gonna darken up the What a Maroon. So I'm gonna double click that. And just by changing the black, which is the key color, to darken that up, now I wanna do the preview button, click. What you can see is that everything associated with that maroon color updates. The tint swatches update as well. So anytime I make a change to this What a Maroon, it's going to update. That's a really nice color. I like this. I like that with 22%. Does 22 bother me? You bet it does. I'm going to bump that up to 25 and I hope that's not too much. Good. I'm going to say OK. Likewise, this brass isn't brassy enough for me. I think it needs a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to do that in the magenta. Is that... Well, it's starting to look more like the floorboard. Let's see if I can brassy that up a little bit. Maybe that? And my floorboards aren't looking as dark as I want, so maybe add a little bit of dark to there, kind of Maybe maybe add a little more orange, a little more red. There we go. Maybe that's good. Maybe that means I need to add a little more yellow to Feelin' Brassy to make it pop. Okay, now I think we have something. And I'm gonna go here. So that should have been totally cool for you. You should have like fallen in love with that so much. Okay. Last 5 minutes, what we're gonna do is look at text because we want to do. You know what? No, I'm gonna cut this video off right now. We just made our 9-square grid. We just looked at how we can change the swatches, and maybe this will move us to select all of these swatches by clicking on the top one, the blue stupid blue one, and clicking on the holding down shift and clicking on the bottom stupid blue one. Go ahead and delete all those. You will never use those again. Remove swatch and if you have a defined swatch, yeah, let's replace it with black. Okay, cool. Now we have a beautiful swatch gallery here with all of the dumb ones taken out. In the next video, we are going to look at how we make those nameplates because it's going to take a little bit of fine-tuning and tweaking. All right, I'll see you then.